aviation fuel will, a blending of sustainable aviation fuel will power our aircraft engines. And but it's not easy. It's kind of fashionable to say that we should have sustainable aviation fuel. Where is the fuel? I mean, I, for one, being secretary, I've never seen that fuel. It's some utopian thing. Sometimes I feel, but 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 it will happen. It will happen. Singapore is one of the few countries now which has set up a 1 million ton plant with Neste. And they basically use used cooking oil and transform it into sustainable aviation fuel. We have a lot of used cooking oil in India also, but we don't have a collection mechanism which we'll be able to collect and then translate into, transform into a sustainable aviation fuel. So our pathway is quite different, and Indian Oil, I'm happy to inform that Indian Oil has decided to go ahead with a project in Panipat with LanzaTech, an American company, to set up 86,000 tons per annum plant in Panipat. So that should see the light of the day in 3 years, and it's basically using ethanol, which is a byproduct from the sugar industry, and transforming it into sustainable aviation fuel. So we very much are on track on this, and these technologies are not available in India. They are closely held by the Western world, and they are also untried. The Western world is also trying these technologies. It's not that this is a robust, well-established, tried, tested, proven technology. These are new technologies happening. So that much about sustainability. And the last point that I want to leave you with is that, we have, there's a lot of focus in my ministry on passenger growth. It's kind of more visible, more appeals to the consumers at large, the population at large, the people at large. And I personally been driving this about creating a hub strategy for India. For passengers. So we see a lot of aviation hubs in our neighborhood, in the Middle East as well as in Southeast Asia. And given our growth which is happening, I think we should be having these hubs coming back to India, not only in Delhi or Mumbai, but in all the 6 metros. And I've been a strong votary of the fact that we should have 6 aviation hubs in India. So, a lot of thoughts, industry participation, discussion, and then we hired a consultant to make the report. The consultant knew far less than what we knew. So we had to change the consultant, and then we have a new consultant in place, and international consultant. And we're working with industry. I mean, we haven't hired, and ministry hasn't hired that consultant, engaged, let me not say hired. And we are working with industry, and this report is going to be ready in by 15th of August. That's our target. So it's kind of almost done. I would suggest to the PhD chamber that why don't you also look at any good international consultant, devise a strategy. Let's document what all we need to do in the immediate term, medium term, long term. What is it that we need to do? What is it that industry needs to do? That document is very useful to my mind. It takes time to develop this strategy itself because they're diverse thoughts, and often these diverse thoughts, there is no alignment. I don't want to mention specifically about air freight stations, but there is always a disconnect between competing interests. In passenger also there's a disconnect. 2 major airlines that we have in our country, they think differently on how we should connect with the world. Somebody wants to connect with wide body, somebody wants to connect with narrow body, somebody wants to do an interline arrangement, somebody wants to do a code share. So to align competing interests of the industry and the government is not an easy task. It's not an easy task to my mind. And to my mind, that's why it's a good idea to document with industry as an industry-led initiative and have a hub strategy for cargo. And then across the board, we all collectively work on it. And that is my last point that I wanted to leave you with. That let us try to work on that. You could work, let us finish our passenger hub strategy. And then you could just take it forward from that. And that would be useful for all of us. So these are 4 or 5 thoughts that I wanted to exchange with you. Happy to interact. I know several persons in this room, but if there's something specific that you'd like to meet me on, I'd be happy to meet you on that on a one-to-one basis. Happy to engage with the association, and I must once again thank all the excellencies who have joined us from the various diplomatic missions in India, in Delhi, and thank you to all the distinguished participants who are here, who have been here in this inaugural session, and thank you to the chair for having invited me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, indeed, and thank you for giving us an overview about the strides the Ministry of Civil Aviation has taken in order to scale up the aviation and the air cargo industry. Thank you very much. And as per your suggestion, sir, regarding hiring international consultant and giving some sort of diverse thoughts, I'm sure that we'll have an internal brainstorming. Will come with a thought process on this, and we'll meet you soon with some of the details. And as you rightly said, the more diverse thoughts we have from international consultants, we'll be having more, sort of something, foundation to build upon. As rightly said, that diversity breeds innovation. Thank you very much, sir. Now the time has